Hello, yes, once again. I would like to talk about Easter since this is the Easter season. Um, well, how did it begin? Where did it come from? Um, well, I don't think that so many know of its real origins because most of people are learned to think that it is the it is celebrated because Jesus got crucified uh, and came back to life during those days, or how you say it, uh, was resurrected. But this is all wrong. Easter actually was an old middle. Yeah, it's true that it's an old Middle Eastern holiday. Um, in the Jews call it Pascha, and but it was not about actually what this holiday was a pagan holiday, which was dedicated to the goddess Ishtar. Ishtar, where from which actually the English word Easter came from. And why do we have the painting of eggs for Christmas? I'm sorry, for Easter. And why do we have the Easter bunny? Well, it all comes from Ishtar because it was customary to bring gifts in the temples of Ishtar on this very day or during these days. And it was then that they painted eggs which they would, you know, present in the temple as a gift to Ishtar. And the Easter bunny comes from the fact that the bunny was one of Ishtar's sacred animals, actually. So, yeah, there you go. And as also the Easter chicken, just as well. Since she was the goddess, the goddess of fertility and sex, she was associated with eggs, you know, because it's quite clear the eggs are associated with birth and fertility, conception and all that. And so it was actually of Assyrian origin, since Ishtar is an Assyrian goddess, even though she is also featured in the Babylonian Sumerian myth of Gilgamesh. But I think that was not in the original text, or perhaps the the name of the original goddess was changed when the Assyrians took over in Babylon, Mesopotamia. So, of course, that's where also then these kingdoms, they are just, of course, symbol of the commercialization of this whole originally pagan holiday. Uh, yeah, here it says Ishtar was the goddess of love and war, as well protection, fate, childbirth, marriage, and storms. And actually practiced sacred prostitution, where women waited at the temple and had sex with a stranger in exchange for a divine blessing. And yeah, so there is some who the name the word Easter did not originate from the name of the goddess, but it surely this holiday was actually her holiday, and so actually this Jewish holiday or Pesach in Hebrew, it was not actually the same holiday because they did not have Ishtar in their own pantheon. Of course, they are not the same people as the Assyrians, so they have had a different religion and different gods. And yeah, it's just something that I think more people should know and be aware of. Instead of thinking, this is all about Jesus and how he got crucified, all that stuff. Also, what we have learned, or many of us so far, is that actually Christmas was not the birthday of Jesus at all. It was just a celebration of summer solstice, the old pagan, you can say, celebration. So I think that kids should know this, especially kids who are not, well, all kids really, and the young ones who are, who celebrate this festivity. And well, why indeed? Because it's good to know the real background, and it helps them to understand that what what stands in the Bible is just a kind of it's actually fiction. All this. This part about Jesus being born December 25th and being crucified on Easter and all that stuff. It is possible that if he really exists, that he was crucified on Easter, but it doesn't have any. That's not the real origin of this celebration, but it was turned into that by the church. So now I think only people who are from the Middle East know the real origin and the meaning of this holiday. I think, yeah, I think the church has really limited our knowledge in Europe, and it has limited our understanding of, you know, of nature, of medicine, of everything, of also, you know, just everything. It's not it's no real wonder why all these books, like Kama Sutra and you know these books of great knowledge of all these subjects that were considered taboo by the church. They all came from the East, where there was no Christianity, at least back then. So I think we in Europe once probably knew more about all this stuff than we do now. So especially long ago, people felt all these kind of cravings and needs and urges inside them, but they thought it was all unnatural and it was just devil trying to tempt them lusts with the lusts of the flesh and all that stuff. And of course, it was just pure nonsense. You know, you are not evil if you enjoy if you enjoy all this stuff. Uh, you are not some kind of freak. And if you want to know more about, for instance, all the secrets of the nature, back then you were always called a heretic, and if you did not accept their own version, like that, there was just that the Earth was only 6,000 years old, and that there was really nothing, special, no real magic in the earth, only in the heaven, you know. And that all the other forms of magic were evil, except the one that comes from God, from heaven. So, in Norse mythology, it's interesting to know that there were two types of gods. The gods of heaven were more related to the sky and all that celestial stuff. They were called the Azir, or yeah, and the gods who were more earthly. They were called the Vanir gods. And they were actually the Vanir gods were considered more wise and knowledgeable, and they were also the ones who were more liberated, in terms of sexuality and genders, like gender dominance and all that. There was more equality between them, between male and female gods and among the Aesir. Aesen. So church they led such kind of policy that all earth-made earthly pleasures and knowledge were kind of something to scorn, to abstain from, while you were only supposed to be like fixed up towards heavens and towards being as pure and as possible. So, and that is wrong, of course, because people are not aliens. Human is not supposed to be like just you know denounce all the earthly pleasures and just live for some kind of ideal that lives up there, high, high above, far away from you. That doesn't really sound very logical, does it? So I think it's paganism is getting. I think today is bigger than it was, and no doubt fiction has a lot of credit for that, I think. Yeah. And I think it was really wrong of us to abandon, most of our touch with our pagan, just embrace this whole new kind of religion that actually had no relevance to our own. So that was all I wanted to say.